Hello and welcome to your Wednesday dose of wealth wisdom with me, Daniel Kennedy, your host. I'm in the steadfast attire today because I want to wear a hoodie. Today's topic is going to be why trying to build wealth without living frugally is like trying to swim without using your arms. And the two go hand in hand, in my opinion. I see really successful people who have really successful businesses and they're not getting wealthy. And the reason why they're not getting wealthy is because they work really hard and then they think, oh, you know what? I deserve a nice holiday. I deserve a nice car. Forgetting that you only have a finite amount of years, time, before you're able, like, you can't work forever. We've got to realize this. It's really, really important that you don't think you're infallible, that nothing can happen to you. Like, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day. So that's why I think living frugally and putting your money into assets that produce money, because once the asset's set up, it takes a lot less management when you're having to run it than having to create it, if that makes sense. So it's all well and good having a business, and a lot of people think it's really hard, but it's not. The bar is so low for people who are willing to sacrifice the now to have a better future. Even the people that do it occasionally make it when they're involved in business really struggle to be true to themselves and admit to themselves that they can't be frugal and they can't live a life below their means. And that means they're always going to be in the rat race. No matter how much money you earn, you're always going to have to work to keep that income coming in. I had a conversation with somebody who was trying to do a property deal and they were struggling to raise the deposit. And we got down into the numbers, and then it turned out they have a really successful business and they're paying themselves £4,000 a month. £4,000 a month. And then the second sentence after that was, I can't raise the money. I don't have the money for the deposit. Like, what the hell have you been doing? Why not save that money? And for me, fortunately now, I've coveted a system and a personality where I wouldn't even know what to spend bloody £4,000 on. I would struggle. And my view is always save. And then when the opportunity arises, you've got that lump sum of cash to, or whether when life happens and you need to invest money potentially in rectifying a problem that happens, you've still got that buffer. It just seems really, really unusual that so many people don't admit to themselves that saving is literally the only way that you can protect yourself from these things. Save to invest, not to spend. And so many people I'm finding will come up with really, really bullshit excuses. So I said previously, like, I worked really hard. Yes, you worked really hard, but you're always going to be working hard if you don't pull your thumb out your ass and start saving. Not save for saving's sake, save so you can invest. When an opportunity comes along, you can hit that opportunity and really make the most of it. I also had somebody approach me at an event that I was at recently and ask me, like, why do you pay yourself so little? And maybe you're struggling, maybe because I talk about that, it is difficult and there's a lot of sacrifice. Why not just take money out of the company? Why pay yourself so little? It's because I'm thinking long term. Like, I know I only have a few years where I can work this hard, work this many hours, work at this intensity, and then, like, who knows, maybe at some point it'll all go pop and it'll get ruined. But for the moment, it's sustainable, and I just want to set up these assets so I can then really tone down the workload, because managing assets is a lot easier than finding them, developing them, getting them onto market. That is a bloody ball ache, and you have to be a certain type of person to be able to constantly do that throughout your life. And that ain't me. Like, I'm far too lazy, far too laid back, and far too unmotivated to do that for the rest of my life. I just want to work a good few years, be really, really frugal, pay off the investors, and that's me. And then I'm out, and then all this stops, like everything, and I won't need to be as public as I am now, because I'd have built the business. It will sustain me for the rest of my life unless something goes terribly wrong. And I'll be inspired to work rather than forced. So if I want to do a deal, it'll be because I'm a bit bored. It won't because I need to. And I'll be my own bank, hopefully. And so I'm working smart. I'm not working like hard. Like, the difference between somebody who's got a really successful business and working really, really, really hard and not smart is they're going to always have to work if they're really crap with their money. And me now particularly, I just work long hours. I don't particularly work physically hard because I've got managers and teams in place, and they get paid very well. And listen, I'm the lowest paid person in my company. Most people don't believe that, but by quite a large margin. Like the next person above me probably gets 50% more than what I do. And that's purely because of their lifestyle, the way that they live. They're not able to control the spending, and anything that they do have spare it's the money thermostat. So if they have money in the account, very often they'll feel, I need to spend it, I can't be there, I need to spend it on something. Obviously I can't talk for them and what their internalizing relationship is with money, but that's my perception of it. And I bet you, like, very few people will realize or even believe that we survive on so little. Only when we give proof is that I got loads of questions on why suffer, why make it really hard on yourself. And it isn't particularly that hard. Like £1,000 or £1,500 or whatever we survive on is quite a lot of money, and it goes really, really far if you're not spending frivolously on things. And the great, like, because those of you who know me know I want a Tesla. I want it fucking really, really bad, and I could buy it. And the one thing that stops me just before I click that deposit is I work out how much time I earn per hour, and I work out how much time it would cost me. I attribute the money to time. I change it, and then I say, how much would the Tesla cost me? How much time would this cost me? And at the minute, it's bloody 6 years. So as soon as I think about that, I say, nope, it is not worth it. 6 years of my time is not worth a goddamn car, as much as I bloody want one. And like even now, like I want a new computer, and I don't want to. I fucking love games, and that's something else that I sacrifice because I'm too addicted to. I can't do all or nothing. I recognise my weaknesses, and it's moderation. I suck at moderation. I'm either all in or nothing. So like with property, I wouldn't be able to dabble. It would have to be like horrible workload, and I'd complain about what I would put myself under, but then I'm the one who's created the situation. I wouldn't be able to do one deal, relax. I've said to many people, this will be the last one, this will be the last one, this will be, and it never bloody is. But now, honestly, these last few will be the last couple until we pay everyone off. And recognizing your strengths and your weaknesses, I'm going to use sort of mind hack myself, and that's why I'm working so hard now to build the assets up, so then we can systemize the management and then take a back seat. And then once we've paid everyone off and we've got those assets coming in now and the money coming in, and it's very little to begin with. Most people assume property is a big money business, and it's not. You get very little, but it snowballs very quickly. So that's why, rather than trading property, and I know some people do very well, but you can't pass a trading business down to your family, but you can pass a portfolio down. You can pass a big, huge rental generating business down. And that's why I'm thinking smart. Like, my descendants are very fortunate to basically be the people after me, because I'm going to set it up in a way where it's going to last forever, and they're not going to be able to sell the assets, because that's working smart rather than working hard and not smart. So going back to the crux of the episode, you've got to live frugally. Don't lie to yourself. So paying yourself $4,000, or paying yourself $5,000 or $10,000 or whatever your business is making, why not then invest that rather than taking it out, getting it taxed, paying the dividend tax, paying the income tax, and then also paying the corporation tax? All that, you can offset a lot of that by simply loading it to another company, get that property company producing money, and then once that is self-sustaining and it pays back your original business, that'd be a great way to build wealth. And there are people who have had businesses for 10, 15 years that will have nothing at the end of it because they haven't invested wisely. Always remember, exchanging your time for money, you're losing. You don't win. There's no finish line where you go, I've made it, because the money stops the moment you stop working. So the money stops coming in the moment you start working, and from that moment you're leaking money. You need money coming in. That is way more important than having a good job or a good career or a good business. Like having money coming in constantly from multiple streams. So for me, I've got 5 streams that I'm trying to get to a stage. Well, I've only got 4 that's giving me money, but I'm trying to work to 5 that will give me each. So if all 4 go broke, I'll have 1 that will sustain me, and one of them is FTSE shares. So that's in a FTSE fund, and that's going to take like 30-40 years before it gets to a stage where it can pay me. But I'm going to, for 30-40 years is going to pass anyway, right? So why not at the end of that sacrifice a little bit each month to be able to have that income? We've got the property business, which is also going to return income. Then we've got the money lending business, which also will return income, but that still constitutes a bit of exchanging time for money. So in summary, I know it's a bit of a scattergun approach, this one, but I've just had so many people come up to me, and I've just seen through the bullshit straight away. Like, they're not willing to just live below their